Enchantée.
Hello lovelies, I'm Angela and this is Parisienne Farmgirl. Bienvenue, welcome to my everyday chateau. I am home from Paris. I've been home a little over a week and a half. Right about now, if you're watching this in real time. If you're watching this in real time, that means that Mother's Day is right around the corner. So you should ask someone to treat you, or you should treat yourself to the first link in this video description because I have a stackable 30% discount to FOREO. I think you should start with this. This is the FAQ 202 by FOREO, and it's a new generation of LED masks with 8 different wavelengths to fight the signs of aging, including NIR. So each color provides a different benefit. You can use the app with the mask, you can use it without the app. I have had mine since the last time I shared it with you. I think that was about 3 months ago. You know, I'm always talking about hyperpigmentation, melasma, broken capillaries. My skin is smoother, it's softer, it's definitely softened up some wrinkles and sort of that crepiness that you get under your eyes. A few weeks ago, I shared with you about my skincare routine. One of the things I love about this, my skincare routine is my little treat to myself at the end of the day. I can put the mask on, sit on my bed, watch Netflix, read a book, and it's doing all the work just while I'm chilling. It's ultra lightweight, it's wireless, and it's made with this unique FlexiFit silicone to fit to any face with even light coverage. And the great thing about this is you think it's going to be really bright and obnoxious in your eyes, and I can't even see it. The light is so chill, so it's working, but it's not bothering your eyes, and that was really a big concern for me. So right now, click the link in this video description. It's a stackable discount, so you can get the little UFO, you know, my super hydration treatment that I love. I took this to Paris, used it every night when I was in Paris. You can get the FAQ 202 mask. The code is AngelaR30 for a stackable site-wide 30% discount. Treat yourself for Mother's Day. Treat someone else. Have someone treat you. The link is right in this video description. So I am settling in. I'm settled in pretty much. I had a wonderful time. So I want to give some shout outs to my fantastic guests. It was so great to meet some of you for the first time. Some of you I have met before on other occasions, on other trips to Paris. So here we go. Vicky, Cassandra, Cheryl, Lonnie, Catherine, Janet, Anne with an E, Christine, Carolyn, both Kathleen's, Jody, Amanda, Lisa, and Wendy. Thank you so much for joining me in Paris. We tore it up, and I promise the videos of our time together are coming. They're either going to come next week or the week after that. Thing is, I have so much footage. I really want to tell the story well, so give me a couple weeks to put all that together, sort through my video files, and I can't wait to share with the YouTube audience what a great time we had together. Now, obviously, I love the French people. I love engaging with them. I love speaking their language or trying to speak their language. But something I really, really enjoy when I'm there is that everywhere my eye lands, there's something beautiful. And I come home very, very inspired. That beauty being where my eye lands is really important to me. In fact, that's one of the reasons I decorate the way I do, because my surroundings are really important to me. And I like to look around my house and think, oh, that's really beautiful. And that happens so much when you're in Paris, whether it's a park or a statue or a piece of art or architecture or an outfit. There's so much beauty to take in. And so when I come back, instead of feeling depressed like a lot of people do when they get back from Europe, I'm jazzed. I'm ready to take that inspiration and plug it into my own surroundings. So of course it was raining the other day, and I thought it would be the perfect time to start a little project. And so we have this space behind that baker's rack right there, and it's the space underneath the stairs. And if you've been watching Everyday Chateau for a long time, you know that we used to have a gross louver door, a real dusty louver door, and the water heater was there. Well, years ago, we moved the water heater to the basement, and I've been sort of using the space as storage for my mixer and for the wine rack. And I had this idea when we did this big From Chaos to Cuisine remodel last year about taking those walls and imitating something that was happening here in the kitchen. So on the range back behind me, right where my finger is are some Delft tile, and they're very, very old. and I found a corresponding wallpaper. So I thought it would be really cool if when you walk in the kitchen over there, if you saw the range and saw that tile, and then as your eye went past it, it landed on this repeat of the pattern inside this little closet. So it's wallpaper, and so it doesn't really matter that it's not real tile because it's small and you're not really focusing on it, sort of like a faux finish. It's meant to be looked at from a distance, not really up close. And so it was raining the other day, and that is the project I decided I needed to start on. I came home really jazzed. I came home with lots of treasures. If you're watching this in real time as well, tonight over on Instagram, I'm having a live Everyday Chateau sale. So you know I have my shop, everydaychateau.com. And when I go on these trips, I use them as a buying trip to stock the store. So we've got lots of oil paintings, lots of copper, fabulous treasures from some of my favorite dealers in Paris. And we're going to have a riot over on Instagram this evening, live, 7 p.m. Chicago time, if you want to join me there. Otherwise, always keep an eye on everydaychateau.com, because as I'm unpacking these crates, I'm listing new treasures for you, because I know, based on feedback, you want the Everyday Chateau style in your own home. So boy, do I have the loot for you to do that. This project was interesting because I started it with not enough time. And when I started it, I couldn't find my microphones that I had taken to France. So I've set the first little bit to music, and then I'm going to bring you along on the progress as I'm, wrapping up the project. All in all, I'm pleased. I've been wanting to do this for about 2 years, just sitting on this idea. And, I love to execute an idea. It feels really, really good. I'm glad you're here. You gotta find the cord, the charger cord. Okay, to be honest, this is the part of the project that I've really been mentally procrastinating on. I guess not physically because it's been raining and I haven't been able to do it. But I really like this idea of repeating the brick on the ceiling because that's what the conservatory walls are right behind this wall. So if I'm going for this idea of an old French farmhouse, I would prefer stone. That's not going to happen right now. There's a certain kind of stone I want. It's the one that we used in the kitchen, and I don't have the time. It's available a few hours from here. I can't source it locally anymore, so I don't have the time to do that. But what I do have is a few sheets of leftover paneling from when we did the faux brick in the conservatory. So I thought that would make sense. If there's brick on one side of the wall, then the ceiling would be repeated in that brick. And I haven't really wanted to do it. It involves a saw, you know, putzing around with the wallpaper and scooching furniture around is one thing. It's a really small space. As you can see, it's been hard to film, but I'm gonna go ahead and get it over with and try to finish this project because we just had some really big storms. So there's some furniture knocked down, but look at that. The garden is ready for me. So as I say every year, it is time to move this party outside. So let's get this piece cut and installed, and then maybe I'll find some time to do I use a concrete repair paste on it, which kind of gives it that old distressed look. I want it to look like brick that has been tuck pointed again over the years. So not going for perfection, obviously. And if you were doing this, and you can, I would do the brick veneer for sure, the little thin pieces of brick. That is not what I'm gonna do here. I've got this brick paneling sitting around, so I'm gonna go ahead and use it and try to finish off this ceiling. Stretch of this project. Truth be told, I'm a little bit sick of it. It lasted a few more days than I thought it would. I'm gonna get out the concrete. I'm gonna skim it over the top of this faux brick paneling, trying to decide if I'm going to go in the direction of the light so it kind of adds a shadow effect. I don't know quite how I'm going to do it, but that's what's going to make this wall look a little bit older. And then I'll put the drapes back up and everything will be just a spot that you glance. So again, it's that faux finish idea where you're not staring at it intently. You just walk past this, you know, on the way to our powder room or when you're coming into the kitchen. It's not a spot you're going to stand and study. So I think it's enough fooling of the eye to just give the idea that the ceiling is brick, the tile is repeated on the wall, and I will have now a really pretty place to store my wine. joining me today. I would love for you to join me in Paris next year. So you can email me at angela@parisiennefarmgirl.com to be notified. We're going to drop those dates any day now. At the end of this video, there will be a link you can follow. Of course, keep an eye on everydaychateau.com or join me tonight live if you're watching this in real time for my live Instagram sale with some of the treasures from my recent Paris trip. I think the wine closet turned out just the way I wanted it to. And now once this rain clears up, I will be able to head outside to the garden, and I hope you will join me all spring and summer for what's going on in the potager. I will see you all again very soon. À bientôt.